At last.
Is that the script for this week's episode?
It certainly is.
What's in it?
Oh, it's a really, really good one, actually. It took me ages, and I worked really hard, but I'm very, very proud. It's all about Saargeras and the world-first mythic race. So what I've done is, I've done like a little presentation of all the teams that are taking part that I think have got a genuine shot at world first. Like Method and Exorcus and, you know, all the other ones.
Is it funny?
I'd say it's probably the funniest thing I've ever written.
Is there a shit show?
There are multiple shit shows.
Oh, awesome. Should we just film it?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna... Oh my god. 7.3 has just gone live on the PTR.
What?
Patch 7.3 has just gone live on the PTR. Oh my god. Look. Taliesin. Argus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at all this new stuff. Isn't it exciting? Doesn't 7.3 look so exciting?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Excuse me, just 1 second. No! No! Fuck! 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 No! Fuck! No! Fuck!
You okay?
Yeah.
There is much to be done.
So 7.3 is on the PTR, which means we are going to talk about 7.3 in this show. So if you don't want to know anything about or see anything from 7.3, then seriously don't be a dick. Go and watch something else. Because 7.3 is on the PTR, which is stupid. I mean, it just is, like, in every sense of the word. I mean, this is fucking stupid. Look at that. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in WoW. But it is also fucking stupid. And Turalyon and Alleria, awesome, stupid, Titan models, and the boss list of the Argus raid revealing that we will be fighting Aggramar and, I shit you not, Argus. And the fact that all of this wonderful, extraordinary, beautiful, stupid stuff was dropped on the PTR literally 2 days after Mythic Tomb of Saargeras opened, therefore totally pissing all over the parade of hardcore guilds like Method and Exorcus and, you know, the others. Totally off-the-wall, batshit, crazy, stupid Blizzard. 7.3 cannot be on the PTR. Fuck you. How am I supposed to care about the mythic race now, Blizz? Those hardcore guilds like Method and Exorcus and, you know, the others, this is supposed to be their time to shine. A handful of times a year, the whole community is focused on them, showing how awesome they are, so they can spend the rest of the year selling merchandise and raid carries. But I haven't even checked progress today, Blizz. It could be all over for all I care, because seriously, who gives a fuck about Kil'jaeden when the final boss is called Argus? I mean, what the actual fuck? And who is to blame for this? Who is to blame for 7.3 being on the PTR already? Who is responsible for this madness? Well, you know, you might want to blame Blizzard, and that makes sense on the face of it, but you'd be wrong. Because I know who's really to blame, and deep down, I think you know too. It's Bellular. Yes, Bellular, the hardest working man in WoW YouTubing. Now look, this is going to sound bad, and I didn't want to have to be the one to tell you this, okay? But Blizzard know that if they leave too long a gap in between major patches hitting the PTR, Bellular, he starts to kill people. Blizzard know that you have to keep Bellular busy making videos, because if you don't, then terrible, terrible things start to happen. So you might think this is too soon for 7.3 to be on the PTR, and actually, I agree with you, but I promise the alternative is so much worse. Bellular has released 16 7.3 videos in the last 12 hours, but just think, what would he have been doing instead? And likewise, in the coming weeks, every time Blizzard puts something new onto the PTR and you get annoyed because you can't keep up, just think, every new quest that they add to Argus there is another life saved. Thank you, Blizzard, for keeping us safe. That's my theory anyway. And anyway, we can talk because we had our own hype train mount guide out before Bellular had released anything at all, so there you go. But the joy of having a show like the Weekly Reset is that we can present everything all at once here, so join us as we talk everything on the PTR and everything we know about 7.3 so far, okay? Go, 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 go.
So, on the PTR at the moment, you can play through the start of patch 7.3 and the initial assault on Argus. You get a lift from your faction capital to the Exodar, where you hook up with Velen and get on board the Vindicaar, your very own disco ship, and what will be your base of operations for the majority of the patch. Now don't forget that Velen and company have been putting this ship together specifically to go to Argus ever since that Exodar scenario right back at the beginning of Legion. You know, the one where you killed Velen's son, you heartless bastard. And since Argus wasn't handily right next to us at the time, you have to assume that the Vindicaar is kitted out for interdimensional space travel, so its capabilities are kind of wasted on such a short journey, but anyway, journey we do all the way to the actual surface of actual Argus itself, which it turns out is pretty green and full of demons. Who knew? I just want to take a moment and say how exciting it is to get on a spaceship and fly to Argus. I just want to express how magical it is to set foot on the Draenei homeworld, see the devastation stretching all across the planet's surface, and to be greeted with this. I mean, fair play, Blizzard. That's really good.
Maybe now you've noticed your new spellcasting animations, because there are new spellcasting animations in 7.3. It took me a while to notice them, I'll be honest, because it was a pretty full PTR when I was playing, and I was much more concerned with the 3-second delay between pressing a button and anything happening at all. But I've noticed them now. They're good. But back to Argos, and straight away you're into the story, and this is kind of important to the whole patch because Blizzard have said that 7.3 is a very story-driven update, and in this first installment at least, they are not fucking around. The first 20 minutes alone see us team up with some absolute giants of Warcraft lore, with the long-awaited appearance of Turalyon and Alleria. And yes, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Turalyon and Alleria, This is amazing! They are so famous. They are finally here, and they are so hot. I mean, seriously, I think it's obvious now why these two have been missing so long. It's because they were just too smoking for Azeroth. One planet alone could not handle this much hot. That's why they've been traveling around the stars, sharing their obscene attractiveness with as many different civilizations as possible. It's only fair. Alleria is ridiculous enough, but can we all have a moment of appreciation, please, for the Mads Mikkelsen in Rogue One inspired beauty that is the face of Turalyon? Oh, and you've still got Lothar's broken sword, which you fixed with the light. That's great too. I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
So the feast of lore and story that Argus is shaping up to be should be a welcome relief after the relative famine of 7.2. And it's not just limited to this part of Argus. This is the first of 3 separate zones that the story will continue in. A story that Blizzard say will contain many cinematic story moments. And when the story is complete, there's supposedly sandbox elements to each zone too, which brings us to stuff that isn't on the PTR. Blizzard have promised new world quests, which I don't think we really need to explain, and invasion points, which I think we really should. Invasion points are replayable content that lets you fight the Legion on multiple different worlds, which sounds interesting if only because you'd imagine it's going to give the art department a chance to really let loose and go wild. And let's be honest, they've spent the last couple of years locked in cages and only having access to various different shades of green paint, so they are going to go wild. I can't wait to see what worlds they come up with, and I can't wait to kick some demon heads when we get to them. There's new profession updates, updates to artifact weapons through customizable relics, though no mention of any more AP grinding, new mounts, new pets and companions, and you might think you're one of those people that isn't interested in pets and companions, but that's only because up until now, you'd never seen this dog wearing a bandana, and now your life is changed. New items and new weapon sets, and all the usual glut of data mined images to go with them, including this rather splendid young Velen, which reveals that Velen has always worn the same clothes. Velen is basically your dad if your dad was allowed to go out dressed how your dad would like to be dressed.
There's a new dungeon on Argus, the seat of the Triumvirate, which appears to be intriguingly void-themed, as well as a new raid, Antorus, the Burning Throne, and this is where it's getting really interesting, because the boss list for this raid and the descriptions that go with them are mind-blowing from a lore perspective. Buckle up, kids, because we are on a one-way ticket to Spoiler Town here. The raid starts with the kind of enemies you might expect. A big fuck-off fell engine, some demon hounds, a couple of badass Eridar, a fight, by the way, which sounds like it's going to involve some spaceship flying. A portal keeper who opens portals to various different demon homeworlds so you can conveniently wipe them out one at a time. Ionar the Lifebringer. Wait, what the fuck? Ionar the Lifebringer. Oh, okay, look, the thing is, Ionar the Lifebringer is a titan, okay? She's a member of the Pantheon. She's like really naked. But most importantly, she's dead, because all of the Titans apart from Saargeras are dead, because Saargeras killed them all. Wait, okay, let's read the description. The forces of the Legion will warp in and charge at Ianar's essence and attempt to destroy her outright. Players must defend Ianar until she can gather her energies and strike back at her attackers. Okay, well, she's not dead then. And not only is she not dead, but she's essentially being held prisoner by Saargeras. Wow. I mean, this is massive. This is huge. This is game-changing. And it does not stop there, because it would seem that the entire second half of this raid is clearly some kind of Titan prison, but not like Ulduar, which is a prison built by Titans type of Titan prison, but a prison in the very core of Argus, by the way, for holding Titans. And other things too, because we fight Varimathras, who started the Battle of the Undercity, you might remember, in his cell in the dark. And then most excitingly of all, the Covenant of Shivara, who's tasked with torturing and brainwashing the souls of the mighty Titans. And as if to prove a point, during this fight, we will battle all of the Titans. Aman'Thul, Golganeth, Khazgaroth, and Norgannon. Oh, and did I say that's the most exciting part? Well, I lied, because the most exciting part is the next fight, which is Aggramar, Saargeras' right-hand man and bestest bud who Saargeras killed in cold blood. Except, maybe not, because it seems like just like all the other Titans that Saargeras killed, he's actually been preserving and corrupting his essence, and now this Titan is going to fight you and 19 of your closest friends. Oh, and did I say that was the most exciting part? Well, I lied again, because the next fight is Argus, the Unmaker. Deep in the core of Argus, Argus the Unmaker. Is it the actual world soul of Argus? Is it a Titan? And is it corrupted by Saargeras? Is it Saargeras himself? All of these things are totally possible, but frankly, I can't think about it anymore because my poor little brain is a husk, bombarded with too much awesome lore, and I'm gonna have to go and have a little lie down, sorry. It's all pretty amazing. I mean, for anyone with even a passing interest in the lore, this is genuinely game-changing stuff. Stuff that we thought we'd never ever see. And to be honest, if Chronicle hadn't recast the Void Lords as the ultimate big bad of the Warcraft universe just last year, then fighting and beating these guys would kind of be the end of World of Warcraft. There would just be nowhere else for the story to go. I cannot stress enough how gigantic this shit is. I mean, we are on Triceratops in Jurassic Park levels of shit here, and I cannot wait to have it all revealed properly with all the bells and whistles and explanations at BlizzCon this year. It is going to be epic. When Legion launched last year and you set foot on Dalaran again for the first time to start leveling, did anyone really imagine that by the end of this expansion we'd be fighting the Pantheon of Titans in the core of Argus? I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. Legion is awesome. You can call me a fanboy and a shill as much as you like, but I am not going to pretend that I am not really fucking enjoying this game just to show how badass I am or whatever. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not quite obviously as excited as a little kid who's just met Iron Man about where it's going next. Okay, that's a bad example, but you know what I mean. This shit is great. The start of Legion Patch 7.3 on the PTR internet. Now, obviously, we're going to keep up to date on the additions and developments on the weekly reset, even if I doubt we'll do another special like this one. And we will do our proper planned report on the Mythic Tomb of Saargeras race next week, when actually you'd expect it to be all done and dusted. Now, Evertel, please, please, please talk about something which isn't 7.3.
Oh, I can, it's too exciting. Okay, fine. The Midsummer Fire Festival comes to a close next reset, and on the 4th and 5th next week is the Fireworks Spectacular, because, America. Of course the Fireworks Spectacular happens every year, but never before have we been able to enjoy it after swallowing some inky black potion to make everything super dark and those fireworks extra bright and shiny. So it should be an extra spectacular this time around. And if you don't have any inky black potions, don't worry. Coincidentally, the Dark Moon Fair also starts up again on Sunday, so you can pick up a batch there. Well, that fucked up all of our plans, didn't it?
Yeah, that fucked up all of our plans. Like, because genuinely, this episode was all supposed to be about talking about the Mythic race and, all the teams taking part. I've been following it, like, minute by minute, what was going on, to make a proper report and stuff, and what was going on.
Don't you feel a little bit bad for those guys now?
I feel like, basically, like, okay, because these things, no one dropped 7.3 on the PTR by accident.
No.
Okay, like, it was planned, and it wouldn't have been one person making a decision. It would have gone through, like, management and stuff like that, and at some point, it would have gone to Ian Hazacostas.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone would have said, as they were coming up with dates to put this onto the PTR, someone would have said, Ian, that's like 2 days after Mythic Tomb of Saargeras opens, yeah? That's like and it's quite an easy raid, and people will be like, they were on 7 and 9.
Yeah.
7 of 9, like both Exorcist and Method. Last time I checked, they're probably even better than that now, and it's probably done by the time you're even watching this video. And it's like, maybe that wouldn't be a good time to put 7-3 on the PTR. Maybe that would really fuck everyone off who's taking part in the Mythic race, just to have like the rug pulled out of under them, and like no one to give a shit about what's going on anymore.
Do you think Ian has a little Khadgar in a bubble that floats around next to him, telling him what to do and what not to do? And do you think at this point...
I think an evil Khadgar.
An evil, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
clearly. Well, because I think there must have also been a point then when Ian looked at whoever brought that up and was just like, drop the fucking patch. It's like, I don't give no shit. Thank you for joining us today. A special thanks to all of our amazing patrons who give their actual real life money to help this channel happen. This video would not exist without you guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't thank us, thank them. Thank us a little bit. If you enjoyed the video, you can like it if you like, and if you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Method.
And I'm Exorcus.
We didn't rehearse that at all, and you just totally went with it.
I read your mind.
Yeah. We're not either of those things.
No.
Those things are not even real people. They're just entities.
Just collectives.
And those collectives are currently in a corner crying through lack of sleep and food and attention at the moment as well. They're getting none of those things.
They're getting none of their like pyramid of needs.
No. Sco, if you need help, just mate, just ask, seriously. Same with Bellular. If you need some food being sent to you, Bellular, or like water, someone just check on Bellular. Someone just check that there aren't milk bottles
There's
outside his door.
There's like little foil emergency like blankets.
It's funny because it's true. No, it's funny because we love him. That's fine. God, that was a long goodbye, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was the longest goodbye.
Time to say goodbye.
From me, Taliesin.
And me, FJ.
Cheerio.
Bye.